In a crisis, seconds matter. That's why preparation is vital. So that's why today, several area first responders, along with Kettering Health, work to make sure they're ready when that worst case scenario happens.
Eli Burgett spoke to teams involved about why this training is so important and witnessed how they prepare. Eli?
Well, Kettering Health, in partnership with the Beaver Creek Fire Department and MedFlight, carried out a construction collapse scenario earlier today. Crews left the fire department and responded to the simulated emergency, and we were right there along with them.
And when we deploy on these type of things with our surgical emergency response team, we are partners with them on scene. We all have the same end goal to take care of patients and provide excellent care.
Kettering Health's surgical emergency response team works side by side with first responders during emergencies. In partnership with the Beaver Creek Township Fire and MedFlight, SCRT conducted a construction collapse simulation and gave us a closer look at how these teams work together in the field. Coming up at 6:30 on Fox 45, a closer look at how this simulation played out and why it's important for these teams to do these exercises. Back to you.
The trial for the man accused of abusing his own father's corpse has now been delayed. That trial for Edgar Kiter Jr. was set to begin this coming Thursday. The defense, however, asked for more time to look over new case information. Kiter is due back in court on September 17th. He has pled not guilty to multiple charges, including gross abuse of a corpse.
Also in court today, the woman charged in the death of her 5-year-old grandson. Stephanie Shanks charged with multiple counts, including involuntary manslaughter, after her grandson died of an overdose while in her care. Now, Shanks has pleaded not guilty to all charges and is being held on $1 million bond. The defense filed a motion to suppress. A hearing for that has been scheduled for October 31st.
Tonight, a woman is in the hospital after a hit and run in Dayton. It happened just yesterday before 6 o'clock at Edwin C. Moses on that off-ramp from 75 South. Police say the 46-year-old was standing in the median at the bottom of the ramp when she was hit by a vehicle. She was taken to the hospital and is considered to be in serious but stable condition. Police say the driver did not stop and left the scene. Dayton police is now investigating.
All right, let's give you a beautiful live look from our Eco Plumber Skycam over Dayton tonight. Nice cool evening as you step outside. Let's check in with Natalie.
Just overall, another picture-perfect day. We've seen some clouds streaming through, which has actually helped keep temperatures down a bit, but now we're starting to see even more clearing, and it is just a really nice day. That low humidity sticking around. Current temperatures, even some upper 60s. Latest reading in Dayton, 68, 70 in Troy. We only topped out at 72 degrees, which in my opinion is the picture-perfect temperature for outdoors, especially with that low humidity. So compared to this time yesterday, we're all sitting cooler. Overall, nice evening expected across the Miami Valley, and we could see some spots drop into the 40s overnight, so it's going to be pretty chilly. I'll have a look at the rest of the week's forecast. I'll let you know when we warm up coming up.
I want to give you a live look now inside the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Well, this is actually a frozen shot there, but they're preparing for another night to get their message out and rally around their candidate for president, Kamala Harris.
We're expecting some big names to make the case that she's going to propel the party and the country into the future. Christine Frizzell is at the United Center for the Democratic National Convention. So, Christine, what are we expecting?
Well, tonight we'll hear from several Republicans expected to argue that the stakes are simply too high to sit this one out and lay out why they're planning to vote for Kamala Harris and against Donald Trump. Democrats in Chicago catching a glimpse of what they hope is their future, buoyed by the man who has represented their past, in some ways, for 50 years.
Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you.
The first woman to clinch a major party's presidential nomination on stage Monday to draw a contrast between Vice President Kamala Harris and the man who she also ran against.
On the other side of that glass ceiling is Kamala Harris raising her hand and taking the oath of office as our 47th President of the United States.
Tonight, former First Lady Michelle Obama and former President Barack Obama expected to bolster the case that while Harris should be celebrated for what she and Joe Biden did together, she should also be viewed as a separate candidate, one to guide the next generation. Tonight's theme, a bold vision for America's future.
They don't care about the laws.
Former President Trump and his running mate, meanwhile, offering their own messaging this week with a focus on crime and safety.
We are going to end sanctuary cities in this country. We're going to bring back pro-law enforcement cities. We are going to deport the violent, illegal aliens that have come into this country over the last few years.
And while they're being celebrated inside here, Kamala Harris and vice presidential candidate Tim Walz will be in Milwaukee. They'll hold a rally at the very same arena where their opponents accepted their own nomination, the site of the Republican National Convention last month. In Chicago, I'm Christine Frizzau.
Former President Donald Trump on the campaign trail in the battleground state of Michigan. In fact, Trump met with members of the Livingston County Sheriff's Office in Howell as he turned his focus toward crime and policing. The former president says he will give police officers the protection they deserve if he's reelected.
What we should be thinking about is the opposite of defunding, refunding, you call it. We'll refund, but we want to help the police. They have a very dangerous job.
Michigan is a crucial swing state. Trump won the state back in 2016, but President Biden carried Michigan in the 2020 election.
More delays with FAFSA now impacting next year. Nick Phelan takes a look at how the impact is already having its effect on colleges.
A bit of a delay for students looking for financial aid for the 2025 school year. Next year's FAFSA applications are delayed due in part to the Department of Education looking to make this process simpler. Now, on college campuses like here at Otterbein, admissions teams are already trying to get past this year's delay and move forward. And now next year, they're going to have to deal with another delay as well.
The application and the new form hasn't really changed from this current year. I think they're just making sure that everything runs smoothly for the students and families so that the experience that students and families have will not be as disruptive as they may have felt it was this past year.
Mark Moffitt, the executive director of admission at Otterbein, hopes a simplified process will hopefully be worth the wait.
It will allow them to fill out that information, to be able to go back and make changes earlier than this past year. But I think it will also allow the colleges and universities to get that information sooner. That's what we're hoping for.
Moffitt says he understands the frustration for another delay, but he says these hiccups are simply part of the process to make financial aid and an opportunity at higher education more accessible.
That was Nick Phelan reporting. Well, you're taking a look at the brand new Fairborn High School here behind me, where students headed to for their very first day of the new school year. The new building is now the third completed project for the district. They also built a new intermediate school that was finished back in 2022 and the primary school in 2022 as well. The high school is 2,000 square feet and costs about $95 million. It features an auditorium that seats 2,000 people and a wing for junior ROTC. Now, parents, we would love to see your back to school photos. We want to see those videos as well. So if you have something to share, grab your phone and scan the QR code. That'll take you to our Chime In page. You can upload your photos or videos directly to us. You might even see them here at Dayton 24/7 Now.
Kettering Health spreading awareness today about its upcoming Hand Day. Now, Dayton Hand Day is a day where Kettering Health partners with Orthopedic Associates of Southwest Ohio to perform free hand surgeries to Dayton residents who don't have insurance. Now, the surgeries are for 6 different conditions, including carpal tunnel, trigger finger, and different types of cysts. Now, since the event started, the patient surgeries have grown from just 4 to over 15 to 20 each year.
A lot of people live with these conditions and they just think that there is no option for them to get the treatment that they need. So they just tend to live with it. And by doing this and raising that awareness, they can understand that there is an outlet for it. And it has taken a lot of education on our part to let the patients know that, you know, there is no catch to this. This is something that truly is free.
To register for the surgery, you got to do it at ketteringhealth.org/handday. Dayton Hand Day is Sunday, September 15th.
Families with Addicts annual rally for recovery happening this coming Sunday. It's held every year in downtown Dayton to educate and eliminate the stigma around addiction and mental health disorders. 2/3 of American families are touched by addiction, so the event also unites our local community with resources. Join us this Sunday from 2 to 6 p.m. at Courthouse Square. All proceeds benefit FOA programs.
Cedarville University now has a new head coach for men's basketball. what his hopes are for the future of that program.
And the Bengals back on the field for training camp today. The joint practice they held with the Colts ahead of Thursday's final preseason game.
Plus, I'm tracking some cool nights ahead. How much longer they last, that's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Sponsored by the Workers' Compensation Lawyers at
Creek. Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
The heat dome of high pressure remains parked over much of Texas, bringing triple-digit temperatures for most of this week. That's not the case in Syracuse, New York, where these turbulent stratus clouds give an early autumn look. And with highs in the mid-60s today, it felt like it too. And last night's super blue moon did not disappoint, including this fantastic shot from San Antonio.
Listen to Off the Radar, new episodes every Tuesday. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Parts of the Northeast are cleaning up after deadly flooding in the region. According to the National Weather Service, parts of southwest Connecticut received more than a foot of rain since Sunday morning. The bodies of two women who were in separate cars were recovered yesterday in Oxford. Officials say the women were swept away by racing water from Connecticut's Little River.
Who would have thought the Little River would turn into a gushing torrent of destruction, which is what happened.
Long Island was also hit hard by flooding and mudslides. Officials in Suffolk County say hundreds of homes were also impacted.
Thankfully, back here at home, no signs of flooding. In fact, no signs of really rain, it doesn't sound like, for a little while anyway.
Yeah, nice dry stretch of weather for us. Looking really nice out there right now. We've saw a few clouds around, especially for our eastern counties. You could see that here on our satellite and radar, those cumulus clouds that we had across the region, those are starting to clear out now that we're losing the heat of our day. But we really don't have much in the way of clouds overnight or tomorrow, with temperatures that are going to be dropping into the 50s. Now, this model has always been trending a little bit on the cooler side, but I do want to show this because I think there's a really good shot that many of us, especially our northern counties, will get into the 40s tonight. And if Dayton gets into the upper 40s tonight, it will be the first time in 10 years in August that we've gotten into the 40s. So it's been quite some time. 70s across the area, sunshine tomorrow afternoon. I'll have a look at the rest of the week because we do have a big warm up on the way too. I'll time it out for you in just a bit.
An exciting grand opening today in Centerville. The city's first Chipotle is now open on South Main Street and features a Chipotle lane, which is that drive-through pickup lane. The Chipotle lane allows customers to pick up their online orders without having to get out of their car and go into the restaurant. The new Chipotle, though, is bringing 30 jobs to the area, and the location is still hiring. A story from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal. A growing Cleveland-based technology company has moved its headquarters to the Dayton region. AdJet Technologies is now on Vanguard Boulevard in Miamisburg. The move added about 50% more space than its previous location. AdJet offers imaging systems for printing, mailing, and labeling industries. And we have all the details right now at Dayton247now.com. You can find this story and others like it under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the News tab.
Welcome into the Bob's Discount Furniture Sports Desk. Cedarville University announcing its new men's basketball coach. Coach Rob Jones has been in the collegiate coaching ranks for 20 years now, spending the last 19 at the NCAA Division I level. Jones most recently served as associate head coach at Liberty University. Jones says he wants to bring Cedarville's rich history of basketball into the future and continue to lead.
I know that there's incredible basketball at all levels, and you know, a part of that is the incredible young men that I get an opportunity to coach and to be a part of their lives. So I'm excited about being a part of the GMAC.
Jones says he can't wait to get to know the players both on and off the court. This year's basketball schedule has not yet been released.
And Cincinnati Open actually broke some record. In fact, a number of attendance at this year's tournament, among a few others. That record, 205,068 people over the single week event. That does not include the more than 7,000 at the first ever Community Day. 13 of the 16 tournaments were sold out, 9 of which were also record setting. The all-time single session match play setting a record with more than 14,000 people. And the 2025 Cincinnati Open, again, will be held August 5th through the 18th.
Well, we're a little more than 48 hours until kickoff for the Bengals' final preseason game. Yanni Tregalis joining us from outside training camp as the team prepares to host the Colts Thursday night, and they're getting a sneak peek today with a joint practice.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Bengals back in action today, getting ready for that final matchup. And it was more of the same with no Jamar Chase at camp today. He was there, but in street clothes as he watched Joe Burrow and all the other Bengals get ready for this final matchup with the Colts. Now, overall, I would say this was a pretty positive practice for the Bengals on offense, defense, and special teams. Newly extended kicker Money Mac McPherson knocking some kicks in from distance early on. And the Bengals offense, they were also clicking today, a positive sign after getting banged up last week in those joint practices with the Bears. Now, there were a couple of mix-ups between Joe and some receivers, leading to a couple interceptions, but again, an overall positive and accurate day for Joe and the offense. Now, things did get chippy towards the end, with Trent Brown getting mixed up with a Colts defender, causing a little bit of a mix-up that brought the two teams' benches out. Nothing too serious, no punches thrown, no ejections. The two teams would ultimately go on to finish from there, but again, the Bengals trying to put the finishing touches on today with their joint practice with the Colts. Right now, practice just about wrapping up. Fans getting ready to greet some of the players as they head back to the locker room here at Paycor Stadium. And then again, on Thursday, the Colts and the Bengals going to meet for the final preseason game before things start to count for real on September 8th versus the Patriots here at Paycor.
Well, high school football starts back up this week, and so does Thursday Night Lights. Each week, we highlight a local matchup between schools across the area. This Thursday, Greenville goes head-to-head with Eaton at Eaton. We'll be broadcasting that game over on My TV Dayton. We'll also catch you up on the best plays that night at 10 and 11.
And your day is kicking off the football season with touchdown trivia. Starting Monday, you could score a daily $100 prepaid debit card and be the $5,000 National Weekly winner. Be sure to tune in to your day each day. Scan the QR code to enter. For complete rules, just head to Dayton247now.com/contests.
Well, we're sitting here in the upper 60s in Dayton, so very mild, especially for this time of the year. Nice taste of fall, but taking a look at the bigger picture here, further to the southwest in Texas, they're looking at 102 in Dallas right now. Now, later this week and into next week, we are going to start to see a dome of hot air build in, and we're talking about summer-like temperatures returning to the area. So you'll notice that here over these next several days. So mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s Thursday, close to 90 on Sunday, with above normal temperatures looking pretty likely. This is from the Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 days out, starting next week and through the majority of next week. It's going to be pretty hot. So I'm going to talk more about that with a look at our 7-day coming up here in just a bit.
New coffee shop now open in Centerville. Look at the unique way they are helping local organizations next.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Grandpa has a question. Why do people come
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
A new coffee shop is now open in Centerville. All the coffee and pastries, are donation-based, and money raised goes back to charitable causes. Tej Joshi gives us a look.
This is House Blend Coffee, now open in the Centerville area, a great local spot to get coffee and, of course, build community. I want you to take a look around this newly opened coffee shop. This is one of the seating areas right here, and actually just outside that window, there is an outdoor seating area on the patio as well. This is a great spot to get coffee, and I want to give you a few more details. They are right here in the heart of Centerville, about a block down from City Barbecue and Grater's Ice Cream. This is also a spot where the way they sell you coffee is unique because you don't actually buy it. They operate purely on a donation system here. So you see all the coffee and pastries that are made in that area back there. Well, the coffee, you don't buy it. You give a donation of whatever amount you're willing and able to give. Donations here then go towards nonprofit causes the team engages in. And of course, we should clarify that right now for coffee, they are only open on Friday and Saturday mornings. And that's because this building is also during the week a real estate office. That's a place where they're doing lots of business. And they've decided to expand this to a coffee business on Fridays and Saturdays. So across the board, there's a great spot to meet people, build community, and of course, engage in great nonprofit work by getting the coffee here and donating to the team's mission right here at House Blend Cafe. If you want to support them, you can come to this business right here in Centerville on Friday and Saturday mornings. My friends, for now though, back to you in the studio.
Well, a nice, cool and crisp night is expected across the Miami Valley, dropping into the lower 50s. Some spots getting into the upper 40s overnight. So it is going to be a cool start, nice afternoon, mid 70s by later into the day. So it's really going to be another beautiful one. I think we'll see more sunshine tomorrow, and it will be a little bit warmer tomorrow afternoon. So you'll notice a difference compared to today. Upper 70s on Thursday, and then by the weekend we heat up, and then unfortunately I had to add the 90-degree temperature on Monday and Tuesday. We like to call
Got rid
this
of the rain though. That's